Good morning, guys. Okay, so first trade of the week from Tuesday, the 14th of April, and it's on the DAX. So just after the Easter holidays. First thing is, I hope you all had a good Easter break. Obviously, it's a pretty unique, pretty strange year in that we couldn't really go anywhere, couldn't really spend time with family, but hopefully you still had, a little bit of a rest from the charts at the very least. So this trade is on the DAX. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of talk you through the analysis. I'm going to talk you through the trade itself. But just quickly, I've not really posted a lot to YouTube recently. I've been on a little bit of a YouTube break, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to blame it on everything that is going on. I'm just enjoying some time away from YouTube. I've been posting kind of 2-3 videos pretty consistently for years. And I'm just ready for a bit of a break. My girlfriend is at home with me every day right now, so I'm just kind of living the trader lifestyle, trading, finishing trading, spending time with my girlfriend, and obviously doing my subscription stuff as an aside of that. But yeah, so with this trade on DAX coming into the market today, first of all, it was after the Easter break. Secondly, DAX had a few issues yesterday with the actual exchange. It kind of froze up for a good few hours. And then when it slowly started to restart, the spread was at kind of 9-10 points. And that's because there was still problems at the exchange, but the brokers were kind of trying to reopen the markets on their end so you could still trade. But then it settled down again not too long before this trade set up. And what you can see is the market has kind of been testing off of the MA200 a few times. I'm just pointing this out because what I tend to find is when you're doing something like this, if you mention an indicator or something like that, that's what kind of people latch onto, and people will kind of leave this video and they'll put the MA200 on their chart and that's it. They'll just look for the MA200 reactions. MA200 is not something that I'll use as a trade entry by itself. It's just it happened to be today that the market was kind of bouncing off of it a few times, and then that lined up with the zone that we were testing and being pretty key support. But coming into today, coming into Tuesday, I was fairly neutral on both of the markets. We kind of made the bullish move that I'd expected. We'd hit into what was looking like the restart of fairly strong resistance, and I was back to being neutral. If we were going to continue with the bullish, it was going to have to break above key levels. If not, then it was just kind of good areas for the sellers to start stepping back in. So I was neutral. Basically meaning I didn't have a view on the market for that day. That might sound absolutely crazy to you if you are just coming to trading, because every trader out there tries to pretend that they are like the guru who can always understand the market. They know exactly what's going on, when it's going to happen. As a trader, that's not how it is. There's a lot of the time when you look at a chart and you think, I've got no bloody idea where this market is moving at present. When that happens, I'm just a lot more cautious with my trade entries because I kind of try and get the view from the higher time frames, the daily time frame. And that's when I don't really, if I don't have a view, I'm then a lot more cautious intraday. But I still pick out the main support and resistance levels because that's where I trade from. And then all it means is intraday, I'm a lot more cautious. So with this one, the reason I liked it is because we had held on the MA200. It was key support, and there was not really a lot holding the market down until we kind of pressed higher into a little bit of a swing point. Now, on top of that, the market had been kind of trending down on the 5-minute, and then we'd started to break up above it. So it was giving me quite a few indications of a potential bullish movement. Now, I was pretty cautious because of everything that had happened with the exchange. So I kind of just approached the market then in a kind of scalper mindset because I wasn't sure if the exchange was going to go down again. I was going to end up getting locked in a trade with a closed market. I wasn't sure if there was going to be a sudden flood of orders one way or the other as the exchange started to reopen. So I just wanted to be extra cautious. The market, when it does start to spike up, I was kind of holding for a little bit, just going sideways, but it was kind of holding on the MA200. As it starts to spike up, what you can see is it starts to hold at fairly specific levels. It's not really sort of natural price action for DAX because it's such a volatile market. It doesn't tend to hold at an exact level for kind of 2, 3, 4 seconds at a time. So that's telling me that it is Still quite low volatility, maybe still got some issues. And so all I'm doing is when it comes up and when it starts to hold, I'm coming out for a slightly reduced profit target. I think it was around about £260. Spiked up a little bit higher than that later on after another pullback, but I was pretty much done with the DAX after that just because of the price action when I was in that trade. So that was the trade, and then what I'm going to do is kind of jump onto today's chart, and then all I did later on in the day was take another scalp on the FTSE. So that was a break-even one. First of all, 261.57 was what it ended up on the DAX, and then another one on the FTSE for £132, so it ended up £393 and 57 pence for the day. So not an overly amazing day, but it was just after the holidays, just getting back into it. And that's another thing as well. When I always kind of go over the way I trade, and sometimes I will scalp. There's lots of different ways to kind of string your bow. As a trader, especially if you're a day trader, it should kind of adapt to what the market is doing day to day. I mean, if the market is a lot more volatile, it makes more sense to kind of get into a trade and look for an extended profit target. If it's very low volatility, and there is the issues that we've been having on DAX yesterday, it makes sense to me to change my approach and scalp a little bit more. And you can still get up to a decent profit target, so like nearly £400 on the day, just by being cautious and trading in a slightly different manner. As a trader, I think you have to be quite reactive to the markets day to day, if you're a day trader especially, day to day, and that's what I do. So as always, I hope that was helpful, guys. I'm not going to say that I'm going to go back to doing 2 videos a week at present, just because I might not do it, to be quite honest. Once the channel's going to reach the 100,000 subscribers, excuse me, which was kind of a goal and a target of mine, and we've reached there, and I'm kind of quite happy where Decisive has gone and where it is. So I'm just enjoying a little bit of time away from YouTube, just actually being a trader without any of the kind of additional stuff that are surrounding it at present. But I'm going to try and post a few more videos over the next few weeks. Live trade videos. I mean, I'm trading anyway, so I don't mind recording it, but it's a bit annoying when I've got the camera in my face because sometimes I want to eat lunch. Sometimes I want to go and get a coffee, and I have to sit here with the camera staring at me. Okay, so as always, I hope that was helpful. I hope you're all getting on okay, especially with everything that's going on. I'm James Orr, and thank you.